And welcome back once again to Salisbury, Maryland in the 2019 Governor's Challenge. It's game 2 for us in this quadruple header, and we're so glad to have you with us. Matt President with you from Salisbury. And this game features an Elizabeth team that's looking to remain unbeaten on the season, 5-0, following their narrow 3-point victory on Friday over Olympic High School. Meanwhile, looking for a rebound is St. Maria Goretti. They fell in lopsided fashion last night to a very talented St. Andrews team. They were anchored in the backcourt by Briggs McLean, and he shouldered the load for them last night. But here today, I'm sure they're looking for a little bit more support as we take a look at the starting lineups, and we begin with the visitors, the Elizabeth Minutemen. And here's their starting 5 on the floor. It looks like this under Philip Colloquio in his second season back at his alma mater. Pascal Doddard, a 5'10 junior guard in the backcourt. Jaden Pierre, we'll get to him momentarily. He's only a sophomore, but he has a bunch of top programs giving him offers and expressing their interest in his services. DJ Watkins, a senior at 6'2 as a guard. Jordan Price, a forward at 6'4, a senior committed to play his college ball at New Haven. And Gilbert Morla rounds out the 5 on the floor for Philip Colloquio. Morla is a 6'5 junior, and he plays center. And now for St. Maria Goretti, their starting 5 looks like this under Sidney McRae in his 6th season overall and his 2nd as the head coach. Briggs McLean, who we mentioned a moment ago, anchors the backcourt. The senior at 6'3", is committed to play his college ball at Hartford next season. Vincent Payne averages 10.7 points per game, did not score last night in the loss to St. Andrews. We'll see if he can bounce back today. He's also garnered some Division I and Division II interest. Matt Rogers committed to play at American University next year, starts at the forward spot, a 6'8 senior. And Jordan Quab Asolo rounds out the starting 5. Actually, he's 4th on our 5, a 6'4 sophomore guard. And Jordan Green at the forward spot, 6'5", also a sophomore for Sidney McRae. Again, Elizabeth 5-0 to start the season. St. Maria 6-6 as we take a look at our players to watch here in this one and zero in on Jordan Price, who will be playing next season at New Haven. Price, a 4-year varsity player, can do so many different things, can play the wing on offense, can play with his back to the basket, and he's very long on defense. First team All-State last year and certainly has the chance to do that again this season in a loaded conference in New Jersey. And for St. Maria Goretti, we talked about Briggs McLean, 17 in the loss last night. And he wasn't just scoring, but he was really dictating the tempo as best he could on offense. So confident with the ball in his hand, and everything on offense for St. Maria Goretti runs through McLean in the backcourt. Again, he's off to play at Harvard next season as the Gales are out on the court. Elizabeth wearing their black uniforms. Today, the visitors making their final adjustments as they take the floor as well. And we are just about ready for basketball here at Game 2 of the day in Salisbury. Jordan Price will jump center against Jordan Green. Here's the tip-off, and it's controlled at center, but they'll call a violation on Price, and so it will be basketball to the Gales to start off in this one. Rogers to inbound. McLean has it in the backcourt. Briggs McLean is a lefty, and you'll see that in not only how he's guarded by Elizabeth, but also where he takes the ball on the floor as he does here, going to his left. Payne for 3, knocks it down. And after going scoreless yesterday, Payne is the first one onto the stat book today. It's 3-0 Gales early on. Pascal Doddard at the controls, off to Pierre on the right wing. Now into the right corner. This is Price with it back up top for Doddard. Doddard directing traffic. Now back to Price on the right wing. Shot clock down to 10. Up top, straight on three-pointer. DJ Watkins off the mark, no good. Offensive rebound for Doddard. He'll kick it back outside. Watkins hesitates. Now over to the right wing. This is Pierre with it. Around a screen, gets the switch. Dishes it off down low. Up and under. Morla partially blocked inside by Rogers. Put back not there, but Price draws contact and a foul. Looks like they got Briggs McLean down low. It would be his first. 2 shots coming for Price. First free throw too strong, off the mark. Minutemen 5-0 on the season, but in New Jersey, they don't start playing basketball till late December. Their first game came December the 21st, so it's still very early in the year for them. The Gales have already played 12 games following their loss a night ago. Price goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. And here's Briggs McLean clearing the center court stripe. Green near side, back to McLean as they work it around the arc. Ball fake, now a drive, up with it, Solo, and he missed it on the shot. Tipped out of play, and it will stay with the Gales. 12 on the shot clock. Once St. Maria Goretti gets it in. 3-1 they lead it. Rogers doesn't hand it off, now gives up his dribble. McLean has it, shot clock down to 5. Backdoor cut, and it's too far in front of Rogers, a turnover. McLean taps himself on the chest. Yesterday had just 1 turnover in the entire game from the point guard position. And now some 1-2-2 full court pressure with Solo, the head of the snake. Doddard will clear, nearly trapped. Spinning baseline, extra pass from Morla down low, knocked away by Green at the rim. Here's McLean into the front court. McLean driving, knocked away from behind. Doddard's got a hand in there. Here's Pierre. Breakaway speed. Trying to go up and under on the reverse side. Rogers there to impact the shot. Now he fires it down court. McLean crossover, scoop shot, no good, but he draws the foul. There you see what Matt Rogers brings to the table. Not only with his scoring ability, but he just made a 60-foot pass over the top of the defense. And brings McLean on the other end at the free throw line. McLean, an 81% free throw shooter. And does not get the roll on the first. Jalen Walker checks in. Gobert Morla to the bench. Those two alternate in that post position for Philip Colloquio. Second free throw up and good for McLean. 4-1 advantage for the Gales here early. Pierre brings the ball up the court. Payne with a tough defensive assignment on him here today. Now Price. Back to Pierre, left wing. He'll use the screen. Driving right now, crosses over. Lost it on the deck momentarily, but Price there to gather. 11 to shoot for Doddard. Doddard, ball on the deck, left hand, off to Pierre. Now Price in the left corner. 5 to shoot. Pull up from the elbow extended, too strong. And the rebound for Green. McLean will gather it in as he brings the ball up the floor. DJ Watkins, the defensive assignment today on McLean. We'll see how he does. Solo on that Jimmy John's logo. Now Green as they play 5 out to start possession. McLean around the screen. Pull up inside the arc. That's too strong. Weak side rebound for Payne and a fresh shot clock. Solo straight on 3. That's off the side of the rim and out of bounds. And possession to Elizabeth. 4-1 lead for the Gales. 5:09 to play here in the opening quarter from Salisbury. Pierre, 18 points in the victory against Olympic a couple of days ago. Brings the ball up the floor, right wing for Watkins. Solo closes quickly. Watkins to the elbow, pulls up. Jump shot around and out, no good. It was halfway down, and the rebound bounces out to Solo. He'll bring it across the timeline. Straight down the lane, lost it on the way up. And here's Doddard to Watkins on the break. Got away with the walk, or maybe not. It looked like he would initially, but the referee on the far side did whistle it. 3 steps before the layup and a turnover on what looked to be an easy fast break opportunity. Miscue there for Watkins. And now some full court man-to-man pressure by Evan Perez, the defensive specialist off the bench for Phil Colloquio. McLean bodying him off. Takes it to Payne. Solo entry to Rogers against the double team, left it short with the left hand. And the rebound for Perez, and he'll draw a foul. Inadvertent contact by Rogers, who's tagged with his first personal. First team foul. Each team with 1 here early. Pierre delivering the signals from the backcourt. Left wing for Price. Back up top now. Perez has it. Perez, their sixth man, can handle the ball and defends with tenacity. Pierre, shaking and baking. Left wing, pass off the hands of Doddard and into the Gales bench. A turnover. 4-1 lead for the Gales. A slow start offensively for both sides. Sometimes you blame it on the offense. I think it's credit to both defenses here. Really tight man-to-man on both sides. Brace McLean hounded by Perez. Dribble handoff for Green. Into Rogers. His pass deflected and taken away. Doddard off to Pierre. 3.5 minutes to play as Pierre kicks to Price. Left wing three. That's good. Excuse me, that's Doddard who knocks it down. And Doddard able to catch the defense converging in the lane on the drive. Tied at 4 now early first quarter. Green has it left wing. Back up top for Rogers. Mismatch here. He'll lob it down low and an offensive foul. Payne pushing off against the smaller defender. And I'm surprised Rogers didn't take advantage of the fact that Doddard was on him defensively. Green and Payne will exit now. Trey Cook will come off the bench along with Isaiah Everett. Perez operating for the Minutemen as they work left to right in their visiting black uniforms. Perez. Bounce pass across the top. Doddard into the corner for Pierre. Wraparound pass along the baseline, taken away. Quabasolo triggering the break to McLean. McLean scoop shot at the rim, up good and a foul. Breaks McLean using his length, lobbing it up over the front of the rim and earning a chance at the free throw line. Pierre checks out. And the free throw up and good for McLean. Watkins plays catch in the backcourt with Perez. 7-4, Gales on top. Price driving baseline, kicks it opposite corner. Triple try on the way, missed everything on the shot that time from Perez, and the rebound for McLean. Everett thought about the mid-range instead for Rogers. He'll take it and he'll make it. Matt Rogers connecting just off the baseline to our left. And it's a 9-4 lead now for the Gales. Perez, offensive foul. Shoved Trey Cook away on defense, and Cook, the heart of the team according to Sidney McCray, the scrappiness off the bench. And he earns the basketball back for the Gales with 2:12 to play in quarter number 1. Pierre and Morla re-entering. Walker to the bench along with Perez. McLean has it, 2:10 to play in quarter number 1. He's got 4 of the first 9. McLean for Cook on the right wing into Rogers. Backdoor cut, and Everett bobbled it. And now down on the ground is Price, and he's in some pain. He got undercut, and now flexing that right knee. Up to his feet, but noticeably gimpy getting up. I believe there's a foul on the play against Rogers, who is the one who undercut him, either him or Everett. So it looks like Price is okay to continue. Jogging down the opposite end. Gales applying some full court pressure off the inbound. McLean against Pierre. This will be an interesting matchup. McLean cannot afford foul trouble. He is so vital to this Goretti offense. Up top for Watkins. Guarded closely by Cook off the bench. 9 on the shot clock. Pierre around a screen, draws the double. Driving baseline, and he lost it, but it's knocked out of play. Will stay with the Minutemen, but just 2 on the timer. Green will come back in. He'll take the spot of Rogers. And they just reset the shot clock, and now they'll have to run it down again, as it was inadvertent. Minutemen off to a 5-0 start to the season. Again, they were victorious in their first Governor's Challenge game, a tight one against Olympic. They pulled away down the stretch, 65-62 the final. 0-2 start for the Gales here in Salisbury. They lost to Father Henry Carr 80-67 on Friday, and yesterday 82-56 against St. Andrews. On the inbound to the corner, 3-ball up from Watkins, no good, and a good rebound. Well, Guabasolo lost it, but he skied up for it and was able to pull it down. And it will stay on this end of the court. It looks like the referees now getting together to determine whose ball this is. Again, you're watching NFHS coverage of the 2019 Governor's Challenge. Game 2 of the day, Father Henry Carr and San Felipe to follow, St. Andrews and Balboa after that. Now a little offense, defense, as it's Goretti ball, and so Everett and Rogers back on the floor, and Guabasolo and Cook to the bench. Phil Colicchio asking for a further explanation as to why they changed that call. And now we'll see some token pressure in the backcourt from Watkins. Rogers to Green up ahead. Green out to Payne up top to Everett right side. Everett driving, cut off baseline, back out to McLean. Now Rogers elbow extended. Shot clock down to 11. Repost for Rogers, back out Payne. Brings McLean the triple try, he knocks it down. Great passing around the perimeter, and McLean's got 7. And it's a 12-4 lead under a minute to play in the first. Here's Pierre. He's yet to get going offensively. Will try to do so here and finish on the reverse side. So Jaden scoring in transition. So Vincent Payne, who went scoreless yesterday, has 5 in the opening quarter. 32 seconds to play in the first, and a foul called on the drive by Price as he went to his right against Green. So Green called with the push. And they'll say it was in the act of shooting. Fifth-team foul against Goretti, and the free throw up and good. Guabasolo back on the floor, take the spot of Green. And the second of 2 free throws now coming from Jordan Price, who's again committed to play his college ball next season at New Haven. 2 for 2 on this trip. He's got 3 in the first quarter, all at the free throw line. 29 seconds to play, shot clock turned off. Guabasolo up ahead. Hop step in the lane, blocked on the shot. Morla with the rejection, and now Elizabeth can hold for the final try. Pierre with it left wing. Around a screen. Hesitation move on the switch, now to the right corner. Doddard pulls it back out front. 7 seconds to go, first quarter. Pierre a screen, pops it out for Price. Triple try left wing, up no good. And the rebound pulled down by Everett as the first quarter comes to a close. 14-8, St. Maria on top. Briggs McLean has half of the Gales points in the opening quarter. And we're back with the second stanza right after this. You're watching the 2019 Governor's Challenge presented by AT&T. 14-8 lead for the Gales after 1 quarter of play. Briggs McLean, who finished yesterday's game against St. Andrews with 17, a team high, already with 7 in the opening quarter. On the other side of things, it's been a very quiet start from Jaden Pierre. A talented sophomore, a 4-star recruit, top 100 in the 2022 class. One of the better sophomores in all of New Jersey. Did score on the reverse layup in the final minute of play in that opening half, but seemed rather passive compared to the 18-point performance he had back on Friday. We'll see if he picks it up here in the second. He's got the likes of Florida, Seton Hall, Butler, and St. John's to choose from when he makes his decision in about a year and a half, 2 years from now. He will start with the basketball in his hands, moving left to right. 2-3 zone to start the second for Goretti, and a turnover now. Weak side, it's Everett coming away with it. Everett will drop it back for Payne. Payne with 5 in the opening quarter after being held scoreless yesterday against St. Andrews. Everett in the right corner, jab step, now working around a screen, back to McLean outside the arc. Drive and dish, Quabba solo driving, floater too strong off the glass, no good. And the rebound from Morla. 6-point deficit. Basketball for the Minutemen, spinning is Pierre. And that time off the heel. Rebound tipped around, offensive rebound, Price knocked away by Rogers. Second chance opportunity, that's also partially blocked. And here's McLean looking to go in transition. Minutemen do a nice job to get back on defense. They trap McLean in the corner, and he will fire it off a defender out of play. Looks like McLean may have gotten away with the travel there as well. Trapped along the near side. But it will be the Gales maintaining possession, 22 on the shot clock. Rogers to get it in. To McLean. Adjacent to that Jimmy John's logo. Reverse it, far side, Quabba solo surveys. Back to McLean at the elbow. McLean for Rogers. Off the ball fake. Pulls up from 2 and connects. That's been his shot so far in the tournament. That mid-range jumper from about 14 to 16 feet away, and he'd rather turn down the 3 to take the less conventional 2-point shot. Gales doubling up the Minutemen. Dangerous pass over the top. Pierre comes away with it. Price steps inside the arc. Jumper around and out, no good. And Rogers, who had a double-double against Father Henry Carr, has the rebound. Up ahead, pass to Payne, who lays it in with the left hand. Timeout taken by Phil Colicchio as his team falls behind by 10. 6:14 to play here in the second quarter. Colicchio in his second season back with the Minutemen. He was previously on the Elizabeth bench as an assistant for 10 years. Then went over to Linden High School as the head coach for 21 years. A run that stretched 6 championships in the state of New Jersey. But he watched his alma mater fall on some hard times, decided to come back, and took a team that won 5 games a couple of years ago to 25 last year. And they were threatening to go undefeated if not for a couple of buzzer beaters and another close game or two. It was not blowout losses, but very close games, all 5 defeats a season ago. But 5 wins to 5 losses, a heck of a turnaround. Evan Perez back into the ball game now. He works with Doddard in the backcourt. Gales try to jump it at midcourt. McLean comes up empty but gets back on defense, forcing Perez to his right. Right corner now, double team comes against Pierre with this 2-3 zone. They're trying to trap out of it. Back to Doddard up top. This is a very aggressive 2-3 zone. Much like that of Syracuse or other really prolific zone teams as the pass is intercepted up top. Payne right wing triple. He connects. Vincent Payne with 10 points. And the lead now is 21-8 in favor of the Gales. Here's Pierre to stop the run, drops in the runner. Nicely done by Jaden Pierre, who's now got 4, and just fantastic touch from just inside the free throw line. But so many teams that play the 2-3 zone have two guys around the elbow. Here's Payne again, back-to-back. Give him all three. Vincent Payne has 13. 14-point advantage. Pierre cut off baseline, but a foul called against Quabasolo. But I started to say with that zone, so many times teams play that 2-3 zone, have the top two guys right around the elbow or the top of the key, and it doesn't really force a defense to change what they're doing. But when you extend the top of that zone outside the arc and pressure towards midcourt, you can still play 2 and 3, but you really force the defense to react more and play your tempo. The offense to react more, I should say, and play your tempo as a defense. Watkins corner three off the inbound, no good. Payne nearly tapped it in by mistake, but it comes to Rogers. Goretti playing with Briggs McLean on the bench. He checked out during that last sequence, but only for a moment. He's already back at the scores table. He barely takes a breath. He's the heart and soul of this offense as Quabasolo missed the bunny inside. 14-point lead for the Gales here in the second quarter. Pierre right wing, skip pass across the zone. Doddard passed up the three. Watkins drives into the zone. Now it's Pierre inside the arc right side. Price the triple try, he converts. Jordan Price knocks down the three, give him 6 in the game. Lead still 11 for St. Maria Goretti. So far it's been their pace that we're playing. Stats into the ball game, now kicks it back outside. Quabasolo off the front of the rim. And it comes free to Jaden Pierre. Pierre into the elbow. Morla reverses. Extra pass to the corner. Triple try on the way. That's around and out. No good from Doddard. Put back. No good from Price. And Mark Stats on the glass to pull in the rebound. Here's Payne. Aggressive down the lane. Passed down low, but a foul called first, as Payne was held from behind. 6th team foul. Or check that, 3rd team foul against Elizabeth. 6 against Maria Goretti here in the opening half. Cook and Rogers exit is coming back on the floor. Is Briggs McLean. Tyson Aghene also into the ball game, and now a shot knocked down from the near corner. Stats able to convert 27-13 with 3:30 to play here in the second quarter. Lob it down low. Morla too strong on the finish, gets his own miss. Here's Watkins with the floater. That's off the heel, and Stats pulls in the rebound. Nearly taken away, but Pierre dribbled it off the sideline as he swatted the ball away from Stats. And so the ball stays possession Gales as they work from right to left. McLean works it across the midcourt stripe. Drive and dish. Quabasolo into the lane now, splitting 2, and he took steps. Perez back in. He'll take the spot of Morla. So Elizabeth trying to go small, and Sidney McCray will counter. He'll go big as he brings Rogers back in off the bench. Little chess game going on now, as all of a sudden Price is the biggest on the court at 6'4", while Rogers and Stats are both in there at 6'8" and 6'4" respectively. Here's Perez driving into traffic, knocked away, but it comes free to Price, bullying his way inside, and he's able to finish over Aghene. It's 27-15, 12-point advantage. McLean spinning off a defender, whips it back outside, tipped by Doddard, nearly intercepted, but with 19 on the shot clock, it will stay with the Gales. Everett back in, takes the spot of Aghene. Aghene, one of 2 Swedish players on the roster for Sidney McCray. He and Victor Stepanovsky. McCray with some international talent and recruiting from all over. Baltimore, West Virginia, Frederick. And he really prides himself on the family mantra and making sure guys take care of one another, check in on each other, and make sure that everyone's doing okay. Many of the players living on campus in Hagerstown. 2:32 to play here in the second quarter. McLean into Rogers, working against a smaller defender. And Doddard forced to hold. Baseline left inbound coming. Foul on Doddard, his first. Into McLean. Now to Stats, lob it down low, post to post. Rogers back from McLean. Corner triple, knocks it down. Great passing, Matt Rogers to get it open to McLean, and he connects. He's now in double figures with 10. Back the other way, Watkins to Doddard. Extra pass, Perez doesn't take it. Instead, Price will. He misses right side of the rim. Battle for the rebound. Watkins comes away with it and will clean it up on the glass. DJ Watkins, a hustle bucket for his first of the game. And it's a 13-point lead now for the Gales, who have possession with 1:50 to play here in the first half. Here's Payne with it. He too is in double figures. Payne slipped. Pierre takes it away. Pierre in against Everett, and Rogers draws contact, missed the shot, but will head to the free throw line, a chance for two. So here in the opening half for the Gales, 13 points for Payne, 10 for McLean. Meanwhile, Jordan Price with 6, leading the way for the Minutemen. Pierre with a couple of buckets and makes the first free throw. Pierre played his freshman season at the National Power, the Patrick School, but then decided to transfer to Elizabeth, where he's currently a sophomore, rounded out no good on the second. And Rogers looking to push off the rebound. Push pass into the far wing. Payne back up top for McLean, lob it down low. Rogers bothered on the shot, got his own miss. Amidst contact, no call, missed the putback. Pierre now trying to go fast. Takes it to Perez. Didn't want the three. Back to Pierre. Straight on drive. Spins off a defender. Hangs and gets the roll. Nice floater there by Jaden Pierre, who just hung in the air for a long time. Now back the other way. Fast break bucket for Trey Cook. Cook able to get behind the defense and finish at the rim. 32-20 with 1 minute to play in the half. Pierre across the way for Price. Head fake, drive, right hand, finish, gets the roll. He's now got 8 points in the opening half. Trims the deficit to 10. Here's Stats from the elbow. Back outside, Rogers, head fake, takes the three, knocks it down. Matt Rogers cans the triple, he's got 7. And a balanced attack leading the way, a 13-point advantage. Corner three the other way, big answer from Watkins. Or rather, that's Price knocking down the corner triple. So he's got 11, first into double figures for the Minutemen with 12 seconds to go. Rogers in possession. Now a turnover. Price in transition, lays it up and in. So that'll end the opening half. Price able to get 5 straight to cap the run at the end and trim into the deficit a little bit. It was a 12-point lead. It's down to 8. Actually, it was a lead bigger than that, but still an 8-point deficit right now for the Minutemen at the break, as Maria Goretti has been led by Vincent Payne with 13 and Briggs McLean with 10 here in the opening half. When we come back here to the Governor's Challenge, we'll take a look at some first half numbers and halftime adjustments as well. But first, it's been a busy tournament. Let's take a look at what else has happened here in Salisbury.
All right, we're back with another edition of Off the Court. Gov's Challenge in the building tonight. We got a West Virginia to Lithuania takeover. We got Dom, we got Rob, the three-point champion and the dunk champion. First, Dom, let's talk about your dominating performance in the three-point challenge. How did you feel out there on the court?
I feel good because it's not my first contest. I knew that I'm gonna win. I don't know why, but I have that feeling.
I think confidence is the most important part of being a good basketball player or a good athlete in general. When you were hitting those money balls, did you felt the crowd's energy?
Yeah, I feel crowd's energy, and that helped me a lot.
Now, the competition, like you come over here to play basketball and go to school. The competition over here, it's a different level, right?
Yeah, it's different level. There is faster basketball, and all guys are jumping. If you're on the way, get out of the way.
But you felt like you was number one on the court tonight, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what do you think about the trophies? I know your coach said it was going to be a little difficult to get back to Lithuania. How do you feel about grabbing that trophy? Is that one of a kind?
I think it's not a problem because trophies is lit.
It's definitely lit. Now, Rob, we got to talk about lit. That you was on a different level tonight, my man. I thought you had it wrapped up when you threw the ball into the court, but that foul line shot, that was something special, man. Talk about what you had going on in your mind going into the dunk challenge.
First, I started easily, like off the side of the backboard, and then for the final, I took the best dunk I can do, like free throw line, and it worked.
Now, I can tell between the two of you confidence. You're a little more confident. You're a little more humble, right? So in that situation of people gassing you up, like does that get you going? Does that get you pumped up?
Yeah, fans are the most important thing in basketball. Like, if they're cheering for you, you're gonna play better and you feel better.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think that, you know, as far as the Gov challenge is concerned, you definitely made a classic moment with that foul line shot. What were you thinking about going into that? Because you flushed it first time.
Yeah, I don't know. I practice a lot on this dunk, but I could never make it. But adrenaline today was different, and I tried my first try, and I think
it was special because everybody seen you move the displays out of the way, and everybody just got more and more amped. So you just felt like that adrenaline just took over, huh?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
That's what's up, man. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a West Virginia alumni, so I love seeing you guys up here. I love seeing your coach with the West Virginia logo. Obviously, colleges in the future. What are you looking towards?
Now I have a division to offer from Alderson Brothers and from JUCO Chipola College, and Marshall University also showing big interest in me.
That's what's up, man. Well, I'm gonna tell you both guys, you're a different level of competition. I think this was definitely our first team takeover as far as the challenges were concerned. So kudos to you guys, and you really killed it. Now let me ask you one more question, Rob. What'd you think about your trophy?
It's amazing. I never had that kind of trophy, and I really like it.
So it's one of a kind that'll last forever for you, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first. Governor's Challenge. I got Dom, I got Rob. Lithuania Takeover. Gov Challenge. We out off the court.
An 8-point halftime advantage for St. Maria Goretti, leading Elizabeth, who's off to a 5-0 start to the season. St. Maria Goretti, we saw them last night, and they really struggled against St. Andrews. Certainly, you can't take anything away from the Saints and how talented they are. But here today, the Gales really commanding this game. They're dictating tempo. They're really playing as if it's their style of play, not Elizabeth. And they've taken Jaden Pierre out of the game for the most part. They've done a great job offensively, and they've spread the ball around. Their passing has been very great on the offensive end, and they've really done a nice job to hit high percentage shots, open shots. And as we take a look at the first half numbers, you'll see that show up in terms of the shooting percentage. The other thing that really stands out are the points in the paint, 14-8. That's what's kept Elizabeth in it. But the assists, 13 of them for St. Maria Goretti, 13 assists on 13 made field goals. You can't do any better than that. And to shoot it at 57% in the opening half certainly has to please head coach Sidney McCray. Again, the Gales off to a 6-6 start to the season. Elizabeth 5-0, but that perfect record in jeopardy as they make their way back onto the floor. Second half coming up right after this as we take a look back to the dunk contest a couple of nights ago. They call him the Lithuanian Jumpman. And Rob Unitas winning the dunk contest. Beckley Prep, his school, played just before this game here. And he and a teammate of his able to sweep the dunk contest in the three-point competition as Robertus Unitas won the dunk contest and Dominicus Ramonis took home the three-point shootout. A couple of players from Lithuania showing out at the Governor's Challenge as we're underway now, second half. Goretti has it working left to right, and a foul called against Pascal Doddard. That'll be his third. Neither team really in a whole lot of foul trouble after the first half. The only other thing to note is that both Jordan Green and Isaiah Everett have two personals. Nothing, that will keep them out long term, but the eyebrow raiser in that is that they both play the post for Goretti, so if they have to go small, that might change their dynamic a little bit on offense. Payne had a great first half. He led the way with 13, gives it up to McLean, spinning, and he can't get the finish. And McLean called for out of bounds. Breaks McLean with 10 points, and he has really dictated the tempo. St. Maria Goretti has been able to play their style thus far. And McLean, 10 points to go along with 5 assists in the opening half. Again, 13 made baskets, 13 assisted on as Morla was left alone down low, and he's able to finish a bunny at the rim. Gilbert Morla on the board for the first time today, and he's a great story for Elizabeth, a kid who could hardly get off the bench last season on the JV squad. Worked his tail off this past summer, and all of a sudden he's in the varsity starting lineup a year later. Rogers wraparound pass, and a holding foul called against Watkins, who tried to reach around and swat the entry pass away. Foul on Watkins, his first. Baseline right inbound coming for Quabasolo. Into Green. He stripped on the way up. It was clean for Price. Perez starts the second half on the floor. Off to Watkins. His floater up, around, in, count it, and a foul. So maybe that's the momentum shift that Phil Colicchio's team needs here on offense to get DJ Watkins going a little bit. He's gotten some substantial D2 interest offers from St. Thomas, East Stroudsburg, along with Ryder. And the lefty short arms the free throw. Morlow the offensive rebound, and the putback goes down. We talked about the points in the paint, keeping Elizabeth in it, and Morla with 4 points in the paint here to start the second half. And all of a sudden, the lead down to 2 for Goretti. Solo gets the pass, and before that, a timeout called by Sydney McCray. Goretti led by as many as 15 in the opening half. That has nearly evaporated here in the first minute 20 of the second. So Sydney McCray takes time. McCray prides himself and his team on their blue-collar mentality. He wants to do all the little things, rebounding, get to loose balls, making the extra pass, which they have done a ton today. Just getting all those hustle stats, and he just feels like it's very emblematic of the group that he's assembled from all over the nation and beyond. A family, even when they're away from home, and making their first appearance to the Governor's Challenge since 2014. So he's talking things over with his group in the huddle to our right. Again, the Gales trying to salvage a game here at the Governor's Challenge after falling to Father Henry Carr and St. Andrews. And just to give you a sense how even those two teams are in terms of their elite competition, they played one another at St. Andrews last week at a tournament that was hosted by the Saints. And St. Andrews won 92-90 in overtime against the Crusaders, who we'll see coming up next. Briggs McLean has it in the front court. 15 on the shot clock now. Rogers on the right wing. Size advantage against Price. Will give up his dribble. Try to wrap a pass inside. McLean able to gather. 5 on the shot clock. He turns it over. And they'll reset the shot clock. Pierre dribbled it on the sideline. So Goretti a little bit out of sync to start the second half after they really dictated pace in the opening half as Rogers and Green check out and Stats re-enters along with Everett. Fresh shot clock off the inbound as we play with 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Now a tie-up. It wasn't called. Ball loose and a fast break opportunity. Pierre nearly got the jam. Instead, he missed everything. Almost wedged it on the left side. Pierre the takeaway. This time he tries to finish an acrobatic shot, draws the foul. Boy, the bench of the Minutemen all at once jumping off their seats, and Pierre couldn't quite deliver what they wanted, but he is at the free throw line, a chance for 2 here. First free throw from Pierre, around and out, no good. Fast break points at the half, even at 2. And I think that's kind of emblematic of where Phil Colicchio can look and try to get his team to push the ball a little bit more. They have the athleticism at the guard spots as Pierre makes the second free throw. And you saw Pierre right there trying to push it and get going. And now Everett the other way for the Gales. Here's Cook driving baseline. Lost it out of bounds. A turnover. Tyson Oghena back onto the floor. He'll join Vincent Payne coming off the bench as Everett and Cook take his seat. A 15-point lead now down to 1. And a chance for Elizabeth to take their first lead of the ball game right here. Pierre working against Payne. Pop it out for Perez. In between the circles now for Watkins. Watkins gets the switch. Lost it off his foot. Able to save it. 10 to shoot. Right wing, Pierre. Working against Payne. Pierre driving. Kick out. Watkins to beat the buzzer. Missed everything. No good. And a shot clock violation. Price tried to put it back up, but not before the horn. And an empty trip down court for the Minutemen as Green re-enters and takes the spot of Tyson Oghena. Perez now showing some full court pressure with 5:22 to play third quarter. 35-34 Gales as Rogers clears the timeline left. Whips a pass inside. McLean back out for Payne. Corner triple around and out, no good. Tipped back by Stats, but it comes to Pierre. Pierre works into the front court. Crossover dribble. Weaving his way to the lane, up and in with the right hand. Jaden Pierre into double figures and starting to really showcase the athleticism here early second half. First lead of the ball game, 36-35. Payne looking for the answer, directing traffic. Pierre right in his hip pocket. Now to the cutter, Stats down the lane, count it, and a foul. Mark Stats, who came off the bench and hit a corner three in the first half, now off the dribble drive, and a chance to add on at the free throw line as the Gales are back in front. Cook will come off the bench and take the spot of Payne. Stats steps to the charity stripe. Sidney McCray calls him an under-the-radar guy. He's a West Virginia native. Certainly has a chance to play at the D2 or D3 level. That if Stats doesn't decide to instead try baseball. He's a pitcher on the Goretti baseball team. Zone look again for the Gales. Stats denying the near wing. Pierre swings it back to Perez. He'll try a deep three. That's off the mark, no good. Chased down by Price, far side in front of the Minutemen bench. Fresh shot clock. Pierre swings it far side. Jaden Pierre gets it back. Working against McLean. Pierre pulls up off the front of the rim, and Stats there to clear the boards. Mark Stats off the bench, averaging 3.5 points, 3.5 rebounds per game, and he's been big in this one. Hasn't played a ton of minutes, but he's been impactful when he's been on the floor. Swings it to the left corner. Cook gives up his dribble. Inside out, Rogers for Stats. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Now Watkins off the rebound, looking to push. Watkins all the way to the 10. And Stats bothered the shot, and a late call. And a hard tumble to the floor for Watkins. Stats assess the personal. 3:36 to play, clock stopped. And the Minutemen with free throws, a chance to tie or regain the lead. Again, it was a 15-point advantage for Goretti. They led it by that mark at 2:23 to play in the second quarter. Jordan Price was able to hit a corner three and then finish at the rim at the end of the first half and help trim that deficit down to single digits. And here in the second half, Elizabeth has come out strong from the halftime locker room as Price is back on the floor. I don't think he actually subbed out, I beg your pardon. I think he was just over by the bench momentarily during that first free throw. Second one up and good from Watkins. We're even at 37. .330 to play third quarter. McLean around the screen. Working to his right, and the ball poked free from behind. It will stay with the Gales. Perez palm up defending, just kind of knocked it out of play forward in the direction McLean was going. 20 on the timer as Stats will trigger the inbound. McLean will come and get it. Fake the handoff, now a head fake. McLean, baseline drive, left-handed, shot too strong. Rebound for Green, but he then lost it down low and takes a tumble. Up ahead for Watkins, working against Stats, mismatch. Watkins drives, left it short on the floater. Offensive rebound, no good, blocked away. McLean on the breakout. McLean, Euro step, draws contact, and he'll head to the free throw line. Oh, now they'll call an offensive foul. It looked like the baseline official had a block, and the official outside may have had charge, and so wave off the free throws. It's an offensive foul against Briggs McLean. I'm not sure I agree with that call. It looked like he shifted right of the defender. First personal against McLean. And again, he's the guy who absolutely must stay out of foul trouble with how important he is to what St. Maria Goretti does on both sides of the ball. Now a drive and a finish by Jaden Pierre. So after a quiet start, Pierre now up to 12 in the game. 39-37, Elizabeth back in front. What looked like a blowout early has turned into a seesaw battle in the third. Payne to Rogers left side. Rogers driving in, contested two, and he gets the roll. A generous bounce off the side iron, and Rogers with the bucket to give him 9. Even at 39 with 2:14 to play. Swinging near side for Perez against this 2-3 zone. Pierre wants a screen. He'll get it now. He'll use it. Shot won't go down. Battle for the rebound. Ripped away by Morla. His putback no good. Missed the bunny. And Payne collects baseline for McLean. McLean 2-on-2. McLean driving left into Perez. Muscles up a shot. Around and out no good. And the rebound for Price. He'll look to push. Pierre against Payne. Wraparound pass behind his back. And a whistle first. And it looks like timeout. No, a foul. Foul caught against Vincent Payne will be his second. Stats and Green back on the floor. By the way, during that last timeout, Nassim McMillan entered for the first time for the Minutemen. He wears number 1 in those black uniforms. Now they want to get Watkins back on the floor, so it's a very short stint on the court for McMillan, who saw a little bit more playing time in that game against Olympic. Minutemen to inbound. To the corner, Watkins the triple. Off the mark, no good, and the rebound pulled down by Green. Even at 39. 1 minute, 35 seconds to play here in the third quarter. McLean crosses over, hands to Stats on the right wing. One dribble now inside to Green, and Green is held before the shot. Foul will go against Morla. That's 2 on him. Third team foul. It'll be a baseline right inbound coming as Jalen Walker re-enters, takes the spot of Morla. Fresh shot clock. Kwabasolo back on the floor as well. Here's Payne. His three-pointer no good off the inbound. Battle for the rebound, and it comes free to Walker. Push it forward to Perez. Now back for Pierre. Price, ball fake into Pierre. Now Green takes it away. Decided to get in front of Walker. It's not what the Minutemen were expecting defensively. Here's a dump off down low. Green blocked away on the reverse by Price. 1 minute to play, third quarter, even at 39. Again, this at one point in the second quarter was a 15-point lead. Rogers at the scores table. 15 on the shot clock. 2-3 zone continues to be employed by the Gales. Price, far corner. Shot clock down to 6 now. Cutting down the lane. Layup up and good. Nice shot by Pierre to cut through that zone. And a good find by Price. 30 seconds to play. Just a few seconds separating shot clock and game clock. About 4-second differential. McLean operating with it outside the arc. Gets it passed down to the left block. Green up with it. Around and out. No good. Battle for the rebound. Tipped out. Kwabasolo had it and lost it. Now Perez in the far corner. Shot clock is off. 9 seconds to play. Coast to coast, and Watkins lays it in. A 4-point lead now for the Minutemen, their largest of the ball game, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. An 8-point halftime deficit turned into a 4-point lead after 3. Can the Gales respond? Fourth quarter on the other side of this timeout. 43-39, Minutemen on top. You're watching the 2019 Governor's Challenge presented by AT&T.
The new $3 Little John from Jimmy John's is just like our original sandwiches, only littler. So we bought a little ad on Lil John.
Little John, yeah! $3, what?
This is a Jimmy John's sandwich, made with all-natural meats, hand-sliced veggies, and fresh-baked bread. And this is the new Little John, available for only $3. They're almost identical. Almost. Good job. Okay.
The halftime lead favored St. Maria Goretti, 35-27. In the third quarter, things switched around, and Elizabeth outscored the Gales by a total of 16-4. That's right, the same team that shot 57% in the first half scored just 4 points in that third quarter, and all of a sudden it's Elizabeth back in front by 4. Their only lead of the game coming in that third quarter. So we'll see what response the Gales have out of this quarter break. Break the huddle with their starting 5 on the floor. In fact, aside from Evan Perez off the bench, 9 of the 10 starters are out there. Perez in for Doddard, who's been saddled with foul trouble in this one. Gales stay in that 2-3 zone. 43-39 the lead and the basketball for the Minutemen. Watkins near wing. They'll swing it back around outside the arc. Triple try for Price. That's off the side of the rim, no good. And it saved inbounds and now off the end line. Briggs McLean, a dangerous save, nearly gave an easy bucket inside to Jalen Walker. But instead, it's unable to be gathered inside, and it hit off the end line. Rogers back on the court to begin the fourth quarter. McLean has it just beyond the midcourt stripe, working to his left. Payne also on the floor, started hot early, hasn't scored in the third, and now McLean drives and finishes to give him 12. Vincent Payne, 13 points, all in the opening half. 7:15 to play in regulation. 2-point lead and the basketball for the Minutemen. Perez, deep three, knocks it down. Evan Perez, his first bucket of the game, an NBA range triple. And it's a 5-point lead for the Minutemen with 7 minutes to play. Now an offensive foul called. I believe it was a moving screen set by Payne on the perimeter. And now Everett quickly to the scores table. He'll take the spot of Green. 3 fouls against Payne. Pierre after a slow start, now up to 12 in the game. Watkins outside the arc, finds Pierre on the near wing. Skip pass to Perez over top of the zone. 15 on the shot clock. Right back to Perez. Defense closes, finds Price at the elbow, back outside. And the movement offensively against the zone has been much better as Perez drives into traffic that time, lost it on the way up, and Rogers able to take it away. Up ahead, Payne driving right side off the window, kisses it home. Nice take by Payne. His first bucket of the second half gives him 15, and it's back to a one-possession game. 2-3 zone continues from the Gales. Perez working with it in between the circles. Now to Pierre. Right wing for Price. Skip pass over the zone, knocked away. Kwabasolo cannot keep it inbounds. That was a nifty move along the near sideline to try to tiptoe it like a tightrope. And now Morla back on. He'll take the spot of Everett. Or Walker, I should say. Referee holding it near shot. I'm not sure what the delay is. I guess it was a shot clock issue. They're running it down from 30. Again, there's no way here at the Governor's Challenge to just simply put up specific digits on the shot clock. They have to run it down in order to get it to where they want it. So they'll set it up at 11. And now a whistle and a foul. They'll get Rogers for holding on as he was trying to body up Jordan Price in the post. 7th team foul, 1-and-1 free throws coming for Price. Trying to make it a 2-possession game here with 5:52 to play. And he gets the roll on the first. So Price now with 14 points. Leading scorer for the Minutemen at this point. And now earning the bonus free throw. 4 team fouls for the Minutemen, by the way, so St. Maria Goretti not yet near the bonus. Price converts both. He's got 15. 48-43, largest deficit so far today for the Gales. Payne on the left wing gives it up to McLean. Gets it back on the handoff, nearly knocked away. Defensive tenacity of Perez on display right there. Kwabasolo right-hand hook shot around and out, no good. It was a good look at it. Just could not get the ball to drop through. And the shooting percentage, which was 57 in the opening half, has steadily declined for the Gales here in the second stanza. Full court pressure now. Pierre able to weave through the defense and break it. Pass off to Morla. Rogers maintains his feet, and Morla able to finish with the right hand. It's now a 7-point advantage for the Minutemen, who look to remain undefeated after a 5-0 start. Rogers inside, Quabasolo into traffic, and he draws the foul. So the McLean finish there will not count. The foul came before. And Quabasolo at the free throw line. Quabasolo, a great rebounder. Had 6 points and 7 boards yesterday. From his 6'4" frame, he's only a sophomore. Really bright future. Sidney McRae is excited to have him on this roster for the next couple of seasons. And he drops home the first free throw. Second one coming for Quabasolo. By the way, his first point of the game. Still has found a way to make an impact thus far. No good on the second. Five minutes to play in regulation. 6-point advantage and the basketball for the Minutemen. Perez has been excellent off the bench. He's provided them the spark they need. He gives it up and gets it back. 3-ball up from Perez. That's off the mark, no good. Weak side rebound for Everett. Gales on the break. Payne passed down low, intercepted, but lobbed back out to McLean in front. Perez saved it, but right to the Gales. Payne 3-ball right wing. Left it short, a line drive three. Didn't get the arc on it that he would have liked. And unable to make it a one-possession game. Pierre up top with it. Holding up his right hand to call out the play, and now Phil Colicchio wants time. His team has surged in front by 6 with 4 minutes and 24 seconds to play in this one. And a lot of it has been Evan Perez off the bench. He has just 3 points, but he's really changed the tempo of this game. Early on, Briggs, McLean and company were able to do just about anything they wanted offensively. They've been slow a bit more here in the second half, and again held to just 4 points in that third quarter. That allowed Elizabeth to surge in front. They were able to get it going a little bit more on the fast break, get some higher quality looks. Morla with 6 points here in the second half, all on bunnies, on defensive breakdowns for the most part. With the Goretti defense applying pressure higher up. But you get the sense that the way Briggs McLean plays this game, not to take away from any of his teammates or anyone else on the court, but he is the heart and soul of this Goretti team, and you sense that he kind of has one more run in him. We saw him yesterday again put up 17 in a game that the Gales were overmatched in against St. Andrews, who we'll see again later on tonight against Balboa. So again, it's a 6-point lead and the basketball right now for the Minutemen. 15 on the shot clock after the inbound. Pierre up top with it. Wraparound pass inside, up and in for Price. Nice combination there, Pierre to Price. And Jordan Price now has 17. The lead is 8. Here's McLean in the front court. Whips it to Stats on the left wing. Back up top, Rogers straight on 3-ball. That's off the mark, no good. Tipped on the rebound and controlled by Perez. Under 4 minutes to go now in regulation. Elizabeth starting to surge. Able to pull in front in the third quarter for the first time, and now they've stretched that lead to 8. Bounce pass, Morla in close, and he's able to finish. And those are the high percentage looks that were not coming in the opening half. Morla up to 8. On the other end, Stats can't finish on the reverse side. And now a chance to stretch the lead to double figures for the Minutemen. Pierre operating. He wants his offense to slow the pace a little bit. All of a sudden the clock, which was working against them early, in their favor. Pierre partially blocked from the elbow, but the putback falls inside. Watkins able to clean the boards. And the lead now is 12 at 56-44. From a 15-point deficit to a 12-point advantage. Stats into Rogers. He was held, no call. And a turnover comes to the Minutemen as it's worked across the timeline by Pierre. And applying the pressure on top of that zone. Price from the elbow. His jumper no good. Tipped on the rebound. Controlled by Payne, weak side. 2:42 to play. Fourth quarter. McLean driving right. Lays it up and in. Breaks McLean now with 14 in the ball game. And a timeout taken by Sidney McRae. So how can McLean continue to get to the rim? If he can consistently drive into the paint, the likelihood of an 82% free throw shooter getting fouled or him finishing is awfully high, but right now it's a 10-point deficit. And 2:33 to play. So that's what Sidney McRae's chatting about in the bench off the way to our right. McRae with big shoes to fill. He's stepping in to his second season as head coach. Matt Miller, the previous head coach on the bench for St. Maria Goretti, who was named the DMV Elite and Inside Sports Baltimore Catholic Coach of the Year in the 17-18 season, now off to Mount St. Mary's where he's an assistant there. And during his time at Goretti, which spanned 2013 to 2018, he went 142. Incredible tradition that McRae, who was by his side for much of that, after being coached by Miller when he was playing, McRae at Shepherd College. That's how the relationship formed, and now McRae trying to continue to build what Miller began. So the basketball here belonging to the Minutemen, 2:33 to play. 10-point advantage for Elizabeth. They've made the trip down from New Jersey. They beat Olympic on Friday. And looking to run the record to 6-0 on the season, they've made up a 15-point deficit and gotten into a double-figure lead. Up top, Price doesn't take the three, instead to Pierre on the near wing. Now Perez has it, shot clock at 12. Price far side against Green. Up top, DJ Watkins away from the rim. Everything going away from the basket. Shot clock now down to 4. Perez has to hoist a deep three. That's off the mark. And Quabasolo clears the rebound. He's into the front court. Kicks it left wing. Breaks McLean into the corner. Back outside Rogers. Ducks beneath the defense. Rogers has it knocked away and stolen. Taken away by Price. And now up ahead to Pierre. To Watkins. Corner triple. That's around and out. No good. That could have been a dagger. 10-point deficit. 1:40 to play. And McLean in the front court gives to Rogers. Back to McLean, wide open for three, and McLean buries it. He's got 17 in the game now, and it's back to single digits, 49 to 56. Pierre with it, 1:20 to play. Clock starting to become a factor. Cook in there for his defense. Watkins doesn't want the three this time, instead of ball screen for Pierre. Behind his back. Back to Watkins, shot clock at 6. Watkins driving, blocked away by his Quabasolo, and a foul called. He looked clean up top. Maybe there was some body down low. So free throws now coming for DJ Watkins. Watkins known really for his rebounding from the guard spot and showing there his athleticism to go up against a bigger defender, and earns a trip to the free throw line. Clock halted at 1 minute and 3 seconds. 7-point lead right now for the Minutemen. Critical free throws right here. The left-hander Watkins up on the first and splashes it home. 8-point lead now. Second free throw up and good. 9-point advantage. And the referee just whistled a timeout, but McRae never took it. So we'll play on. 1 minute to play. Brace McLean driving to the rim. Lobs up a shot, can't get it to fall. Green's put back won't go. McLean outside the arc, left wing three, left it short. And the rebound tipped out. Fast break now. Up ahead to Perez. He'll gather and lay it in. Back to double figures, under a minute to play, and that might ice it. And now Phil Colicchio will ask for time. He wants to get some subs into the ball game, I presume. It all started on the defensive end. This is a team that wants to hold their opponents to 40 points or fewer. They allowed 35 in the opening half. They've allowed 14 since. And the defensive commitment leading to the production for the Minutemen in the second half. Meanwhile, they scored 27 in the first half. They have 33 in the second. So not a tremendous difference offensively, but it's been the defense which allowed the Gales to shoot 57% in the opening half, and they have not been able to find the same quality of looks here in the second. So a deficit now of 11, 60-49, with just under 43 seconds to play. Again, coming up right after this one, we'll have Game 3 of our quadruple header, Father Henry Carr against San Felipe. Team from Canada facing off with a team from Puerto Rico. .38 seconds to play. McLean around a screen. Pops it out for Rogers. Doesn't take the three. Instead goes into contact, pulls up, and he draws a foul. It'll be with a foot on the line, so he'll be shooting 2, not 3. Actually, it looks like they've called it on the floor before the shot. It's the 16th foul, so no free throws. Doesn't even matter if it was a 2 or 3 after all. Lob it inside for Rogers, and he puts home the bunny. Surprised we haven't seen more of that, with Rogers standing 6'8". And a quick timeout called after the bucket inside, as it's back to single figures with under 30 to play. Rogers has 11. So we teed up this broadcast by talking about Briggs McLean and his 17 points yesterday, but the lack of a supporting cast. There's been much more of that today. Vincent Payne with 15 in the game, 13 of those in the first half. Rogers with 11. But again, the defensive intensity ramped up by the Minutemen in the second half. Gales held to just 4 points in that third quarter, and that shifted the tide. And now 27.9 seconds remaining. It's 60-51. Minutemen get it in. Trapp in the backcourt. And a whistle and a foul. Doddard back in there to ball handle, and he tried to split the double team, and the near side official spotted contact. So the clock stops at 24.4 as we head to the opposite end for 1-and-1 free throws. Doddard has only hit 1 bucket today, a 3-ball in the opening half. He's been hampered with some foul trouble. First free throw up and good. He'll earn the bonus. Father Henry Carr and San Felipe starting to make their way out of their respective locker rooms. Behind the basket on the left side. Again, we'll have that one coming up about 15 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Second one around and out, no good. 10-point deficit, under 30 seconds to play, and a turnover. And now a foul called against Stats. Well, Jordan Price has done an excellent job on the defensive end. We talked about the team as a whole anchoring down on defense, but He's been jumping in passing lanes all over the place, and he has at least 3 or 4 second-half steals where he has simply read where the Gales are trying to go with the basketball. So 18.1 to play. 61-50 our score. Jordan Price, the New Haven commit, at the free throw line. And his shot up and good. Second free throw by Price gets the roll. 18 seconds to play. McLean with it. Hands to Kwaba solo and turns it over. And you see the defense even down the stretch, just jumping the passing lanes, and now Watkins able to hold. 3 seconds remain, and that'll do it. From 15 points down in the first half and trailing by 8 at halftime, Elizabeth turns up the defensive pressure in the second, holds the Gales to 4 in the third quarter, and they come away with a 63-51 victory as the Minutemen improve to 6-0 on the season. A battle with some international flavor coming up after this. Father Henry Card takes on San Felipe. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 2019 Governor's Challenge presented by AT&T.
The new $3 Little John from Jimmy John's is just like our original sandwiches, only littler. So we bought a little ad on Lil John.
Little John, yeah! $3, what?